I am continuing my reading, and what I'm doing in this series is read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. I have read the time period covered from Genesis through the book of Joshua, including books outside the Bible that take place during the same time period. Right now, I'm completing the first 8 chapters of the first book of Chronicles because it covers the same basic time period. It does have a little extra in there, might go a little bit farther at times, but is basically a genealogy or a list of names from this time period. Right now we're in chapter 8 of Chronicles. Now before I continue, I do also want to mention, I do have my son in the room with me. He is watching the Looney Tunes in the background, so you may hear that as a background noise as we go along. This is chapter 8 of 1 Chronicles. Sons and chief men of Benjamin are named. Now before I read it, just in chapter 7, we had a big list of the sons of Benjamin, and they gave us the total number of warriors or soldiers that Benjamin had, I believe, at the time of David. So we're getting a second chapter of Benjamin. Judah also had 2 chapters discussing that. I believe Ephraim appeared in 2 chapters. So some of the tribes, there's a little bit more focus on them, and other tribes are given very little detail, such as Naphtali, who got 1 verse in the last chapter. So anyways, here we go. Now Benjamin begat Bela, his firstborn, Ashbel the second, and Ahara the third, Noha the fourth, and Rapha the fifth. And the sons of Bela were Adar, and Gera, and Abihud, and Abishua, and Naaman, and Ahoah, and Gera, and Shaphupan, and Huram. And these are the sons of Ehud. These are the heads of the fathers of the inhabitants of Geba. And they removed them to Menahath. Now, I got to pause here because these are different names than what were given in chapter 7 as the descendants of Benjamin. So there's a lot of confusion here as to exactly who. I mean, some of these people may be have different names. They are given 2 different names. That happens not uncommonly in the Bible, that one person is given multiple names. Sometimes it's a given name and then a title. But there is a lot of confusion because of this. And trying to figure out exactly who is who or all that can be confusing, and I don't think I'm not sure it's really necessary. But we're going to read it through because in most of these chapters there's little tidbits of historical information as well as occasionally some doctrinal points to be made. And so we want to read the entire thing, so make sure that we don't miss anything. Right now, that's the main thing right now. Let us continue verse 7. And Naaman and Ahiah and Gera, he removed them, and begat Uzzah and Ahihud. And Shaharim begat children in the country of Moab, after he had sent them away. Hishum and Beerah were his wives. And he begat Hodesh. And he begat of Hodesh his wife Jobab, and Zabiah, and Mesha, and Malcolm, and Jeuz, and Shekiah, and Mirma. These were his sons, heads of the fathers. And of Hushim he begat Abitub, and Alpael. The sons of Alpael, Eber, and Misham, and Shamed, who built Ono and Lod, which with the towns thereof. Beriah also, and Shema, who were heads of their fathers, and the inhabitants of Aijalon, who drove away the inhabitants of Gath. And Ahio, Shashak, and Jeremoth, and Zebediah, and Arad, and Ader, and Michael, and Ispa, and Joha, and the sons of Beriah, and Zebediah, and Mushallam, and Hezekiah, and Heber, Ishmerai, also, and Jezliah and Jobab, the sons of Elpaal, and Jacob and Zichri, and Zabdi, and Elienai, and Zilthai, and Eliel, and Adiah, and Beriah, and Shimrath, and the sons of Shimhi, and Ishpan, and Heber, and Eliel, and Abdon, and Zichri, and Hanan, and Hananiah, and Elam, and Tothijah, and Iphidiah, and Penuel, the sons of Shashik, and Shamsherai, and Shehariah, and Athaliah, and Jerasiah, and Eliah, and Zichri, the sons of Jeroham. These were heads of the fathers of by their generations, chief men. These dwelt in Jerusalem. And at Gibeon dwelt the father of Gibeon, whose wife's name was Maacah, and his firstborn son Abdon, and Zur, and Kish, and Baal, and Nadab, and Gedor, and Ahio, and Zachir, and Mikloth begat Shemaiah, and these also dwelt with their brethren in Jerusalem over against them. Now, I want to point out this. Kish, it says here, his firstborn son Abdon, and Zur, and Kish. Kish was the father, or it was the name of the father of King Saul. Whether this is and they were of Benjamin. Saul was a Benjamite. So, whether this is the same Kish or not is not. Oh, no, this is not the same Kish. Let us continue reading. I shouldn't have stopped yet. Verse 33. And Ner begat Kish, and Kish begat Saul, and Saul begat Jonathan, and Melchishua, and Abinadab, and Eshbaal, and the sons of Jonathan, and the son of Jonathan was Meribbaal, and Meribbaal begat Micah, and the sons of Micah were Python, and Melech, and Tariah, and Ahaz begat Jehoiada, and Jehoiada begat Elameth, and Esmaveth, and Zimri begat Moza, and Moza begat Benaiah. Rapha was his son, Eliasa his son, Azel his son, and Azel had 6 sons, whose names are these: Azrikam, Bakiru, and Ishmael, and Sheariah, and Obadiah, and Hanan. All these were the sons of Azel. And the sons of Eshek, his brother, were Ulam, his firstborn, Jehush the second, and Eliphalet the third. And the sons of Ulam were mighty men of valor, archers, and had many sons and sons' sons, 150. All these are the sons of Benjamin. But it says Ner begat Kish, and Kish begat Saul, but I don't see a name of Ner earlier on in this chapter. So, again, these genealogies are very confusing, but we are reading through the entire standard works, so we're going to read them, but we're going to leave it there because I don't really have much else to say. So, see you in the next one.